Okay, Bellicon family. So Faith here for another fabulous interview. This one's extra special. It is with Dr. Arnel Calvario Ripkens. I'm going to do a short bio and then I'm going to let you introduce yourself. So my short bio, Dr. Arnel Calvario Ripkens is a doctor of occupational therapy, a Los Angeles native, and also founder of several amazing organizations that I'm going to let you get into detail on. But more than anything, what I love about your work is the heart and the energy and the sense of community that you bring to this. So we're going to talk about rebounding within the occupational therapy world, within your world. Okay, I'll give you my first question, but I would love for you to introduce yourself before I do that.
Yeah, thank you so much for those kind words. I love Bellicon. I absolutely love it. As a person who has bounced on it, who has taken classes, I love it. But yeah, I come from two worlds and I intersect them as well. So I am a doctor of occupational therapy. I work in pediatrics, work for Long Beach Unified School District, but I'm also a hip hop dance educator, part of a couple of incredible organizations, one nonprofit, Culture Shock Los Angeles. I'm a part of that. I'm also a founder of another hip hop dance troupe called Kaba Modern. And yeah, I've worked with a lot of different hip hop and street and club dance organizations. So yeah, so I also bring my two worlds together, occupational therapy and hip hop, to do dance therapy programs. And some of those
Amazing.
dance therapy programs have involved using the Bellicon rebounders. So yeah.
Amazing. So that's the best of all worlds, in my opinion. Like, I love that work so much. So, how has rebounding impacted just the children that you work with? Like, what have you
Yeah.
seen? What have you felt? Yeah, share that if you
So
may.
one thing, whether it's an adult or a kid, when you see a trampoline, everyone's eyes light up. So everyone
True.
seeing the trampoline to begin with. But a lot of the kids I work with who are neurodivergent, and
Yeah.
so they have a lot of those kids have sensory needs. We all
Yes.
actually have sensory needs, particularly like vestibular input, just moving side to side, moving in a rhythm. Um, as well as another system called the proprioceptive
Yeah.
system, which is kind of like pushing your joints together, like when you crack your knuckles or when you rub your
Sure.
hair, you
Yeah.
balance your legs. So, of course, if you need that kind of sensory input to help you organize, to help you focus, a rebounder is perfect for that. And so,
Mm.
about 15 years ago, I started using trampolines in my obstacle courses. I use it to warm up before my hip hop classes for a lot of my kids because
Nice.
providing that proprioceptive input helps my kids be able to learn, dance sequences because they get that
Yes.
sensory input. It's enjoyable, it's fun, but it's also therapeutic. And it helps kids really let out their energy and also have that grounding force to help them
Yeah.
organize their mind. Yeah,
So
that's really
why, like, what's just sort of the science, like, why the rebounder over, like a solid surface, like, is,
yeah.
for proprioceptive and sensorial work?
Mhm. So, proprioceptive input work is kind of like when we swaddle babies and you push your
Mm,
joints together. It's kind of that sense that we have from pushing our joints together and release.
got it.
In a rebounder, you get to do that because you're pushing your joints together when you jump.
Got
But
it.
it's easier on your joints, right? When you jump on a
Yeah.
flat surface, it's still very beneficial, but over time, it does sometimes wear on your joints over time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the rebounder is a lot easier on your joints, but it gives you that proprioceptive input
That
in a
input.
safe way, a fun way, and also with the Bellicons, the having the option of using an arm bar is also
Yeah.
adds that extra layer of sense of safety for some kids who have balance issues. They can
Yes.
hold onto the bar, they can
And
jump.
they have that support.
And I also have tried other brands of trampolines, and I think the bungee, the way the Bellicons are made, it's just a
Sure.
smoother jump. It's
Yeah.
softer on the joints. You could feel the difference, and
Yeah.
so I really love the Bellicon trampolines for that
For
purpose.
that reason. I had the same thing. I started on springs back in the day, and, I remember that transition for sure. So what do you what so when you're working with children, do you find that it's as simple as like get on and bounce, or is there a series of like sequences or exercises that you work with?
Yeah, so there is tremendous benefit to just, especially when kids are holding it together at school and they're coming
Yeah.
home and they need to get that energy out in their safe space. There's
Yes.
value in letting them just do it on their own, free, with no one telling them anything, right?
Yes.
But when you want to add the layers of, hey, let's work on attention to task or doing
Yeah.
multi-step directions, you can add music, you can add directions, and then you add that extra layers of therapeutic value. um, so
Got it.
there's value in so many different ways you can kind of modify it, right?
I
That's
love
why,
that.
and it's great because it also grows with you through life, right? Because you keep it
Yeah.
simple and free when they're younger, and then as they
Yes.
get older you can start grading it, right? And it
I
grows,
love that.
right?
Oh, I
So
love that. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. You put that so beautifully. I feel like all humans need that. Like if we can have that movement and we practice that, that's why maybe some of us get a little stuck with our movement patterns. And I
Mhm.
love that concept of like we all need free play. Just
Mhm.
and then we need to understand the idea of structure and tasks and kind of how to so that's a beautiful comparison. And I do agree. I keep wanting to see these in schools because I do feel like even me as an adult trying to sit still for 6 hours a day is I can't do it. I mean, there's no way. So to ask a child to do that, and then also a child who may be neurodivergent or just needs more
Mhm.
sensorial work, I mean, yeah, we need these in schools. I wonder how we can make that
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. And after working in the district for 20 years, um, I can absolute with 100% certainty say that the room that has the trampoline is the most popular room in the class, in the building.
Yeah.
The kids run to my room when it's their
Oh,
turn to come to my room. They knock on the door asking for the opportunity. So, and it's just a simple thing. It's just having two trampolines,
yes.
you know.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah,
Oh, that brings me so much joy. So, what advice would you have, like for families, if they do have a child or even an adult who has these needs, and it may be coming from a neurodivergent person or not? Like, what advice would you give? Would you say, just take it upon yourself to get a trampoline? Would you kind of recommend working with an occupational therapist? Like, where would they begin? Because we have a lot of people who call in and they're like, I have this child who has these needs, and I'm not finding the support I need. And I saw this YouTube video of somebody bouncing and like, where do I start? And so, yeah,
yeah.
where would they begin? I
Well, I
guess.
would definitely recommend. So, I mean, there's trampolines all over the internet, right? But if
Yeah.
you want like something that's really high quality and good for the joints, then a Bellicon trampoline is a great start. And I would say start simple, right?
Yeah, I
Just
love
get
it.
the trampoline with the arm bar. So you have
Yep.
that for safety to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Just keep it unstructured. I always recommend to parents that kids need 15 to 30 minutes of release or a break when they get
Yeah.
home from school. Like, no
That
matter,
makes
that's
sense.
for all kids. But for neurodivergent kids who have sensory needs, it's very,
Yeah.
very important. I would never like say go straight to homework. I would say jump on the
Yes.
trampoline for 15 minutes, give them that sensory break, and then you can, give them that transition to homework or other things in their
That
routine.
makes sense.
But keep it simple. Yeah, just let them be free with it and have that arm bar for structure. And
Sure.
then as kids, grow with it, and you're working on other things like motor skills or attention to task, you can add those things like let's bounce to a song. Let's
Yes.
bounce to a slow song with a slow beat, and then later on, it's like let's dance to a faster, and then you can start working on those
Yes.
motor skills. I think when you get to that level of advancing it, that's when I think you should ask. It's great to be able to ask an occupational therapist or even a Bellicon like fitness instructor who understands
Yes.
how to grade and
How to
change.
create those.
But I think, yeah, starting simple and just letting them have joy in it has a human benefit as a
Yes.
win for joy. And it has therapeutic, even without any structure. You're going to give them sensory input. It's a safe place to be. I also really recommend jumping on it yourself. When you
Yeah.
like taking turns, just having also that chance to bond together too.
Ooh, I love that.
That's like because they all support so much weight, right? So it could be for a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, I love that so much. And I think the younger people or people, generations before us, they learn just from watching us. So hopefully if they see us on it, then they'll be more inspired to
yes,
do it. I know I see that with my kids in my house. That's a fantastic image of joy. I love that so much. So I have two more questions for you.
yeah.
So one of them is, where did you first learn about trampolines? Because
Mhm.
reason I ask is a lot of people in the medical profession, like will send people to their doctor, right, to get a recommendation for bouncing, and the doctor has never heard of it. So, did you learn about it in school? Did you find it on your own? Where did you first come across?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is all evidence-based stuff, right? Like in our profession for occupational therapy, a trampoline is one of the equipments that we learn about in school, that it has so much
nice,
therapeutic benefit for vestibular input and for proprioceptive input. So it's definitely part of our basic education for sure.
amazing.
But you're absolutely right. It is not public knowledge. Not all physicians learn it in school because they
That's
don't
what it is.
they don't right? They
Yeah.
don't learn about sensory integration. That's something very specific
Yes.
to a lot of occupational therapists and physical therapists as
Yeah.
well. So that's why you don't know about it. But has it been around for a long time? It absolutely has.
That's awesome.
And I started, like you said, with the spring trampoline
Yeah.
first.
Yes.
And then, I tried some of the plastic ones, and they're all, although those are fine, they're not great. And they're also not as safe because the ones with the coils and the springs are also not
Yeah.
as safe as a Bellicon that has,
Yeah.
the rebounders are much safer. So, um, yeah, you want the best and you invest in the best, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, my last question, and then I'll let you have any closing comments that you want to share with the world.
Yeah.
I like you bring so much joy, like so much joy. I've seen your work and also with your dancing, with your movement background. So much work. Would you say you would ever see this beautiful combination for yourself of like doing hip hop and dance on the Bellicon, like to music for you to share with the world? Because I want to see it.
Because Dustin, my husband Dustin, he teaches, and also a lot of the trainers for Bellicon, they teach the best classes with music, right? And so for me, I have taken classes that I'm like, I would take this every week if it was in my gym. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Absolutely. But am I as talented as Dustin and the super trainers at Bellicon? Because that is a very specific skill. I would have to train in it. You know what I mean?
I
But
think you are. Well, we should start one for children that you teach,
yeah,
though, because I do think
it'd be fun.
that is such a specialty, and we have to start them younger. And I think that there's
Yeah,
just this beautiful opportunity. So I'm going
yeah,
to hold you to that now that I have it on recording. And then they'll
yeah.
build to Dustin as they grow to be an adult. We'll go for a full life cycle.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, do you have any closing comments? I am so grateful that you took time out of your like long day and
Mhm.
your busy schedule and all of the work that you do to record this. And I appreciate it so much. It's such like a just a valuable amount of information, and you do it with so much joy and compassion. And I just appreciate you. So, any final remarks I'll leave to you. And I thank you so much.
Yeah, I think the last feature I would say that I love about the Bellicons is the creativity of the colors, right? And I think products that allow you to customize. I mean, that's what I also love about it is like being able to pick the color bungees. You know what I mean? To kind of
Yeah,
add that customization. It's just another extra thing that's an opportunity to engage kids,
I love
because
it.
if kids are allowed to make input into like what their trampoline is going to look like, that's so much better.
It
there's
is.
more
I
buy-in,
agree. Oh, I
so
love that.
yeah, so I love that too. And we all deserve joy. We all deserve movement. We all
Mm,
deserve connection with our bodies. So
yes.
I hope more people will try it. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Those are wise words. Thank you so much. I will link to some of your work in this, and then Bellicon community. If you have any questions for us or about your child or your family, write in the comments. And I thank you.
Yeah.
Sending joy.
Peace, everyone.